This is the ripple stitch that I'm going to teach you how to do today. You could do this for a baby blanket, a table runner, all kinds of things. This is in a pattern called Malibu Ripple, and it's available at maggiescrochet.com. This ripple stitch is a multiple of 12 plus 6. In the sample, I have chain 30, which is a multiple of 12 times 2, and then the 6 added to it. To start row 1, you will double crochet in the 7th chain from hook. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you work a double crochet into the 7th chain from hook. Then you work a double crochet into the next 2 chains. Now it says keeping last loop of each stitch unhooked, double crochet in next chain, skip 3 chain, and double crochet in next chain. Then we will yarn over and draw through all 3 loops left on the hook. To do that, we work a double crochet here, like this, but we leave, instead of going through those 2, we leave 1 loop on the hook. Then I'm going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and work another double like we just did, leaving the last loop. Instead of drawing through 2, I'm just going to draw through 1. Now I have 3 loops on my hook, and I yarn over and I draw through the 3 loops on my hook. The only time you do this type of a cluster stitch is on row 1. Next, we will double crochet in the next 3 chain, just regular double crochets. So the typical ripple stitch is valleys with peaks. This here, by skipping those 3 chains, created the valley. Now I'm going to create the peak. After you double crochet in the next 3 chain, you chain 2, double crochet in the next chain, chain 2, and double crochet in the next 3 chain. So that move right there created the peak. So here's the valley and here's the peak. Now we're going down to another valley. Now you'll work the same cluster stitch, keeping last loop of each double crochet on your hook, double crochet in next one, in next chain. Instead of drawing through 2, I'm just going to draw through 1. Then I'm going to skip 3 chain for the valley, 1, 2, 3. Then I will double crochet in the next one like this, draw through 2, and then just draw through 1, and then yarn over and draw through all 3. So that creates the second valley there. Now, same as before, we'll double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. So that is the repeat all the way across. When you get down to the very last chain at the end of row 1, you will chain 2 and double crochet in the last chain. Just like that. So that completes row 1. For row 2, chain 4 turn. I turn like this, will double crochet in the first double crochet, and then I will double crochet in the next 2 chains, 1 and 1, like that, and then I'll work a different type of cluster stitch here. This cluster stitch is yarn over, insert in your hook, in your double crochet like this, pull up a loop and draw through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, draw up a loop, draw through 2, and just keep doing the same thing. It's like keeping last loop of a half double crochet on your hook, like that. Okay, now when I went into all 7 and I kept the last loop of the stitch on my hook, it looks like this. And now I will have 2, 4, 6, 8 loops on my hook. I will yarn over and draw through all 8 loops like that. And then I will chain 1, and that's referred to as the eye of the cluster stitch right there. When you come back on row 3 and any rows after that follow a cluster stitch like this, when you're working back into the stitches, this big loop here is not a stitch. It's not something that you're going to work into. You will be working in, when you come back, you will be working into the double crochets and the eye of the cluster, but you will not be working into that. Now you work a double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. Now we're at the peak again. This is, and then at the peak you will V-stitch. The peak is that middle double crochet right there. I don't know why I said lonely. So you do this, you're going to do a V-stitch into that double crochet, and then chain 1 and 1 more double crochet in the same. So there you will have 3 doubles that are separated by chain 1s. And now we'll double into each one of the chains. So you may want to make sure your chains are loose when you make them. This one's loose. Okay, now right here, every time you get to the little valley here that has all these double crochets, that's when it's time to do the cluster stitch. Yarn over, draw up a loop, draw through 2. Yarn over, draw up a loop, draw through 2. Do that 7 times. Two, 4, 6, 7. I have to have 8 loops. There's that. And then when I have all 8 loops, I'll yarn over and draw through all the 8 loops, chain 1 for the eye, and then double crochet in the next 2 chains, and then V-stitch in the last chain. This was our chain 7 turning chain. So these chains are getting used up by the 2 doubles at the end, and now a V-stitch. So that completes row 2, and that's what your piece should look like. back on, this is kind of like the wrong side, and I wanted to show you, if you, the row 1 over this way was the right side. So if you want to, you could place a stitch marker on the right side so that you know. You can do whatever colors are preferable that you want to do. What I do here is I get to the last 2 here, and I chain 1 and I tighten the back of that here, and then I take my scissors and I cut back here. So I have plenty of yarn to sew in, and I put a needle on and I sew that in. Now for the next color, row 3. There are several ways to join a new color. You can, from the wrong side where you finished off right here, you could start through here, put your slip knot on there, pull that through, and chain 5 turn. Okay, you can do it like that. Or you can be on the right side. You finished here, so you would turn it and be on this side. And you could insert your hook in the last double crochet here, put your slip stitch on there, pull that through, and then chain 5 from there. Like that. Or a third way, which is the way I prefer. You can join with a double crochet. In the pattern it says chain 5 turn, so the chain 5 counts as a double crochet and chain 2. So if I just join with a double crochet and chain 2, that's the equivalent of the chain 5. So to join with a double, I will start with the slip knot, yarn over, go into that first double crochet, draw a loop up, yarn over, draw through 2, and yarn over and draw through 2, and then maybe tighten this up just a little bit. But that's like a real double crochet there instead of a turning chain. Now I will chain 2, and I'm ready to go. So this is row 3. I'm going to skip the chain 1 space, and now I am going to double crochet in the next 3 double crochets right here. And I will double crochet in the eye of the cluster stitch, which is that little chain right there. Now here is where I told you you're not going to work in that big loop right there. That's just part of the cluster stitch, and it doesn't count as a stitch. So I'm going to skip that and go into these, and I will have 3 on this side, like that. And then here is where I had from the previous row, I had the V-stitch, chain 1, double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2 and just double crochet into that center double crochet, and then chain 2 again, and then skip that chain 1 space, and I skipped it over here, and then I'm going to double crochet here in the next 3 doubles. Then I'm going to double crochet into the eye of the cluster stitch, like that. I'm going to skip that big chain thing there, then double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. Okay, so this is what that's looking like. Now, when I finish all the repeats down this row, when I get to the end, it says 2, chain 2, skip 1 chain space, and double crochet in the next chain space, like that. So both sides will look the same because there's a chain 2 and a double on each side. That's how you can tell if you're doing it correctly. For row 4, so in the pattern, this row 3 is considered the pattern row. Now row 4 is also the pattern row, and the entire ripple stitch is only worked with 2 different pattern rows. So it's really easy once you get the hang of it. For row 4, I will chain 4, turn, double crochet in the first stitch like that, and then I will double crochet in the first 2 chains, and now whenever you come up on these 7 double crochet stitches, that's when you know it's time to do that cluster stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, draw through 2 7 times. Okay, there it is. Now I have all 8 loops on my hook, 2 4 6 8. I'll yarn over and draw through all 8, and I'm going to chain 1 for the eye of the cluster stitch. Then I'm going to double crochet in the next 2 chain, then I will V-stitch, which is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then chain 1 again and another double crochet in that same double. So that creates a valley and the peak right there. And now I will double crochet in the next 2 chain, 1 and 2, and now I'm back to another group of 7 double crochets. So it's time for the cluster stitch. Yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. This is keeping last loop of each half double crochet on keeping last loop of each stitch on hook. Work half double crochet in each of next double crochet, yarn over and draw through all 8 loops on hook. 2 4 6 2 4 6 8. Somehow I got 9. All right, let me check. Oh, I went in that space that I keep saying not to go into, I think. No, that wasn't it. So it should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So it was 1 2 3 4. Okay, here we go. Maybe I didn't take 2 loops off. I think that's what it was. 2 4 6 8. Okay, I'm back on track now. I think I didn't take 2 loops off one of the stitches, but anyway, we're good to go now. Chain 1 for the eye like this, double crochet in the next 2 chain, just like that, and V-stitch in the last stitch. So that's a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the last stitch. Okay, so that completes pattern row 4. Actually, it's pattern row 2, and you'll just repeat those 2 pattern rows. The one I did here and this one for the entire Afghan or table runner, whatever you want to make. So here, I'm going to finish this color off. Cut back here, and that's how you work this ripple stitch. This stitch is used in an Afghan that we call the Malibu Ripple Afghan, and it's available at Maggie's Crochet or the Etsy store. The link to the pattern will be below this video. The Afghan also has tassels on it with directions for that. And you can use this stitch for a lot of things. You can make a beautiful baby Afghan or a table runner or, you know, all kinds of things. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.